Hello and welcome back, Commanders and Commanderettes. Chesty Puller here with another War Commander video. This time, I'm not on my account. I'm on a lower level player's account who has low level units. And I said that this event can be done by lower level players. And I'll show you that that's true. He's going to do it, or I'm going to do it on his account with free repair. And this is the commander set. I'm going to start out with the number 2 base. Um, and this is the first time I'm going to try the number 2 base on with these low level units. So I'm so confident that I'm not even going to test it. I already did the level 1 base, but we'll do the level 1 base later after this. So we'll start with number 2, and then we'll go to the level 1 base. So everybody's got mercs, and you just put one merc up there in the corner. Remember to put the merc on defense, and then disselect it or deselect that merc, so that when you if you have the merc selected, when you deploy, it's going to deploy, and then it's going to have that merc selected and whatever you deploy selected. It won't make the merc go away. Like normally when you have one unit selected and you deploy another unit, that other unit will be deselected and the new unit will just be selected. But when you have mercs, it's going to remain selected. So you want to get it out of there. And the way that I do it is I press the 1 key or the some other key, one of the numbered keys, 1 through 10, or 10 is 0, and then you want to make sure that you bring 1 Gus or 1 Cos Mortar, because you can't take these tanks out with the cannons, and that's the only purpose for that single Cos Mortar. Now, by the way, if you have once you deploy the high priority units such as the cannons or the Oxford, those tanks in the corner will lock onto those cannons even though that they can't move. And then even if you did move the merc at that time, the merc can come down and start shooting those tanks, and it won't target them because it's changed its target from the merc to the cannon ghosts, and it is stuck there, and it's a sitting duck. Okay, that they built that into the code because what otherwise what are you going to do about those tanks? And then it helps to start in this top right corner. And then I will tell you this. The thing that's going to cause the most damage is the helicopters. The helicopters are the most damaging thing. So there is a tech, which I'm not using, which reduces damage from aircraft, I believe. And I just thought about that while I was doing the voiceover right now. But the helicopters, I know for a fact, are the ones causing most of the damage. So if you put that tech on, I'll have to double check that because I'm going by memory, but usually there is a tech that will decrease damage from aircraft, and I usually never use that because I don't expect to be hit by aircraft. So I use the other one where it decreases damage from vehicles. That's the one I typically use. Okay. And then I just sort of move my way across here. I want to get rid of all of the cryo because that slows me down. All the cryo turrets. And just another little tip here. The very few turrets are going to cause you damage. That floater, that blue one right next to the helicopter right there, if you get close enough, it has very short range, 400 range, But if you get close enough, that causes damage to your cannons. However, the Overwatches do not, and the cryos do not cause damage to your cannons. The railguns do, um, and uh, some of the other newer upgraded turrets, like in the number one cannon, or excuse me, in the number one um, officer set, there's a couple of turrets in there, and I can't think of what they're called, but they're the newer upgraded turrets, and those do cause damage. The cryos don't, the overwatches don't, the railguns do. And then that blue floater right there in the front that we're getting ready to shoot right there, those do cause some damage. But you can see that was very easy. By the way, his Oxford does not have any tech on it whatsoever. It's completely naked. He didn't have the opportunity to buy it or something, and so his Oxford has no workshop, and his cannons just have the regular workshop that was given to him. And there's no option for the gold. You just put the gold tech on to the Oxfords and then the cannons, and then select which of the other two that you think is going to be best. And yeah, this is definitely free repair. Every unit will be free repair. I have the Oxford hidden back there behind on the second squad. And the reason I have Oxford in a different squad is because I can't have a full platoon because I have to bring the Cosmortar in. So if you're if you're watching this video and you want to know how the setup goes, you can't put it all in one platoon because you won't be able to bring in the cannons and then bring in the Cosmortar. So there you go. The number 2 base, free repair. The number 1 base, I did absolutely free repair the first time I tried it. And now, this second time, I took a little bit of damage, but it's free repair back at the base. And I was explaining to this guy that he needs to spread his platoons out into 4 platoons, but he didn't do it. I don't want to take the time to spread his platoons out. It only helps out, like on this particular base right here, it's almost always instant repair if you spread your platoons out into 4 or 5 or even 6 platoons if you have to. But his and by the way, I did end attack there because some of the ghosts were dying, and once the ghosts die, then they start shooting you. So if you get in a bad spot and you notice that your ghosts are dying, then get out of there as quick as possible. You can't do that on the number 2 officer base, but on the number 1 officer base, you can. I said that those. I know that the Overwatch, even if they have the red um, damage boost on them, does not cause any damage to your Cosmortars. I know that the Railgun does. The Railgun has higher damage per second, and it's a single shot, so it's only going to shoot one of them. But the Railguns, even if they've got the red boost on them like that, it's not going to cause any damage to your Cosmortars. They have a flat damage reduction. And I tested that. I came in here on another base and I cleared out everything that causes damage, all the tanks, and then I just drove around and let all the turrets shoot me just to verify that, and they were shooting me and they weren't causing any damage. Um, if you look in the back section right there, there is a floater with that turret that I was talking about. I can't remember what those are called, but they also have sort of a frozen cryo effect, and they shoot out little like snowflake type um, projectiles. You'll see it here in just a second. I'll show you when I target it, but I don't remember what it's called. But that one will cause you damage, and the railgun. So the only thing back there is the railgun and that floater um, just above the go-go bar. That one right there. So that's why I'm targeting that first, and of course the rail gun um, will cause damage. And I imagine that if this was spread out um, into 4 or 5 different platoons, it would have been instant repair. But the first time I did it, it was instant repair, even though everything was in one platoon. Um, so it all matters, like just how much splash damage you get from those tanks, because those tanks, when they shoot that white fireball, causes a massive splash damage, and that's where 99%. There's no helicopters in that cave base, but that's where 99% of your damage is coming from, is all those tanks. And if you can keep your orange ghosts away from your cannons, then you can get in and out of there without any damage at all. So yeah, that was a little bit more than 5 and 15. I really didn't want to wait 15 seconds, so I'm just going to stop it. Um, I got my Oxford back there, and the two of them together was just too much. So we'll save that 15 seconds and just do it this way. Remember to keep your Oxford separate, or if you don't want to keep your Oxford separate, at least one cannon separate, so that you'll have room to bring in your Cosmortar. But anyway, guys, I wanted to show you, because in my videos I was saying anybody can do this, and then somebody commented, yeah, but your stuff is max level. So I'm like, well, you know, I'll just show you, because I usually do come on to 1 or 2 low level bases and do a couple of videos there at some point in the event. And so um, this guy wanted some help, so I logged onto his base, and we just did it. And so that's absolutely free repair, low level units. Okay, yeah, let's take a look at those units so that I can show that to you. We'll go back into the tech center and show you that real quick. If I can find the tech center, here it is. So, see, nothing's maxed here. We got a level, what is that? I can't read it. Level 14 or something like that, maybe 16. And then a level 10 um, Oxford. As far as the workshop goes, um, the Oxford, I'm pretty sure, has nothing on it. There's no icon above the Oxford. This for some reason, my base doesn't glitch out like this, but when I log onto other people's bases, I don't know why. kind of glitched out like that. But you see, there's nothing on Oxford, and because he doesn't have, see the red up there, that means he doesn't have it. Doesn't have any of the tech. But they did give tech with the cannons. And this is something I have to say. This was good on Kixeye. For Christmas, they gave cannons. I think it was Christmas. I can't remember. I didn't get any. But I believe it was Christmas. They gave cannons. I couldn't get any. I was maxed out on everything. So that's why I couldn't get anything. But anyway, I hope that was helpful, guys. Good luck.